My mother-in-law kept rearranging my kitchen, so I child-proofed every cabinet in her house. It started when my husband Jake and I moved into our first apartment together. His mom, Carol, had this weird obsession with helping us settle in. Every time she visited, which was like 3 times a week, she'd reorganize something. First it was my spice rack, then my Tupperware drawer. But when she completely rearranged my entire kitchen while we were at work one day, I lost it. I came home to find all my stuff moved around. My coffee mugs were in the cabinet above the stove where I couldn't reach them. My cooking utensils were scattered in random drawers. She even moved my dish soap under the bathroom sink because it looked cleaner that way. When I asked Jake to talk to her, he just shrugged and said, "She's trying to help, babe." The breaking point came when I found her throwing away my grandmother's old mixing bowls because they looked outdated. I caught her just as she was about to toss them in the dumpster. These bowls meant everything to me. My grandma taught me how to bake in those exact bowls when I was 7 years old. I confronted Carol right there in my kitchen, holding my rescued mixing bowls. She just rolled her eyes and said, "Honey, you need to learn how a real kitchen should look. When you have kids someday, you'll understand." That's when something clicked in my brain. The next weekend, Carol invited us over for Sunday dinner like always. While she was busy showing off her famous pot roast to Jake, I excused myself to use the bathroom. But instead, I went straight to her kitchen with a bag full of child-proof cabinet locks I'd bought at Target. I spent 20 minutes installing those little plastic locks on every single cabinet and drawer in her kitchen. The ones that you have to squeeze and pull at the same time to open. I even put them on her spice cabinet, her junk drawer, and the cabinet where she keeps her fancy wine glasses. When dinner was over, Carol went to put the leftovers away. I watched from the dining room as she tried to open the cabinet under her sink. She tugged and pulled, looking confused. Then she tried another cabinet. Same thing. By the third cabinet, she was getting frustrated and calling for Jake. "Something's wrong with my cabinets," she yelled. Jake went over to help and couldn't figure it out either. I just sat there sipping my wine, watching Carol's face get redder by the minute. Finally, I got up and said, "Oh, those look like child-proof locks. You know, for when you have kids someday, you'll understand the importance of kitchen safety." Carol's jaw dropped. She stared at me for a solid 10 seconds before Jake started laughing. He actually thought it was hilarious once he realized what I'd done. Carol spent the next hour trying to remove all the locks while muttering under her breath about disrespectful daughters-in-law. The best part was watching her try to make her morning coffee the next day when she called us, completely defeated. She couldn't get into the cabinet where she kept her coffee filters. Jake had to drive over and show her how to squeeze and pull the little tabs to open them. After that, Carol never rearranged my kitchen again. In fact, she barely touched anything in my apartment.